Okay, let's just begin with some breathing. We're going to have one hand on our chest and the other hand on our belly, over our belly button. We want to have upper arms relaxed on the floor. And we're just going to concentrate on breathing. We want to breathe in and out into our diaphragm so that our belly rises. So this hand on the belly should be going up and down. And the hand on your chest is not rising very much at all. Keep the neck and shoulders relaxed. The lumbar spine's where you're comfortable, probably neutral. And just focus on the breathing. Now if you like, you could breathe in for the count of 4. Hold it. And then breathe out for the count of 4. Okay, and you can do, generally, it's recommended that you breathe out for longer than you breathe in. So it can be a really nice way for you to relax, to breathe in for 4, hold for 2 or 3 breaths, and then breathe out for 5 or 6 breaths. Okay, we're going to go up to the neck now, and I just want you to find your sternal notch, or where your collarbone meets your sternum, and the little notch there, and just lift the head a little, and you'll feel your big sternocleidomastoid tendons pop out. Just pop your fingertips there, and we're just going to do some head nods. So again, you want to try and stay relatively relaxed through your neck and shoulders, and you're just looking straight up at the ceiling, and then you're going to look towards where the ceiling meets the wall, and then look back. So the eyes are just doing the movement first of all, and those 2 tendons at the base of the neck shouldn't move. And then you can add in some little chin nods. And you're just nodding enough to knot, so you don't want to turn those muscles on. So those tendons shouldn't jump up underneath your fingers if you're doing your gentle nods. So by doing gentle nods, you're using your deep neck flexors. So we want to do about 10. And this is the most, or the easiest position to do your deep neck flexors, because you're not having to worry about the weight of your head. Okay, so let's pop the arms by the sides again, palms facing up. We're just going to sneak those feet out to the sides of the mat, okay? And we're just going to do some hip range of motion. So right knee going towards the centre, and coming back, left knee. So thinking about your breathing again, you're still trying to keep the breath going down into the diaphragm. We're just going to do between 3 and 5 each side. So this is just internal, external rotation of your hips. Keep your neck and shoulders relaxed. I'm just going to do one more on the left. Okay, and then we're going to bring those feet back in. And we want them hip width apart. Now pillow underneath your head if you need it. Just a couple of pelvic tilts just to find your neutral. Okay, and then we stop there, palms facing up. And we're just going to do some bent knee fallout. So right knee coming out somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock, back to the centre. Left knee again, and back. So we're trying to keep upper tummy relaxed, lumbar spine staying neutral. So we're using our core muscles. There is, of course, rotation happening in the hip, but this is mostly about our core. Simplest abdominal exercise. We're going to do 5 each side. So again, focus on breathing down into the diaphragm. And we're not really too concerned whether you're breathing out when you're going out or breathing in when you're coming back. Just be consistent. Keep the chin a little tucked. Okay, coming back to the centre. We're going to go to single knee lift now. So we're going to bring the right knee up over the right hip and then slowly lowering it back down. So we're not in a hurry to get that foot back on the floor, and we don't want to feel that we're squashing our back into the floor or arching it too much. I tend to breathe out as I lift my leg up. Breathe in as I lower. We're going to do 2 more each side, but you might be breathing the other way. We just want to make sure that we're not turning on those upper abdominal muscles. It's quite a simple tummy exercise still. And we'll do 1 more. Okay, this time we're going to bring the knee up and then straighten the leg, lower it to the floor. And then bring it back. So gentle on the floor, maintaining that neutral lumbar spine as you go to the other side. Neck and shoulders are still relaxed. And we're breathing down into the diaphragm still. Good, keep going. Now ideally your feet are coming back directly in front of your hip. And you're doing gentle footfalls. So you're not dumping your foot back on the floor. Right, I'm going to do 1 more each side. And the last one on the left. Let's just bring the knees in towards the chest and just do a little rock and roll from side to side. Alright, and then pop the feet back on the floor. Right, so again we're finding our neutral and feet are hip width apart again. So we might add in arms this time. So we're going to have left hand over left shoulder, palm facing the floor on the right, and the right knee over the right hip. So we're just going to extend the arm and leg, and then come back. Alright, I'm breathing out as I extend the opposite arm and leg, and breathing in as I come back. So again, I'm maintaining that neutral back position, my shoulders just rolling in the socket. And I'm going to do 10. Last one. So the front of the thigh might get a little bit uncomfortable just as you start to run out of fuel. We're going to be gently putting that foot on the floor, again minimising the wobble as you swap to the other side. So this time it's right hand over right shoulder, left knee over left hip, neutral lumbar spine, maintaining that neutral as I go towards the floor and back. So I'm not feeling my back squashing into the floor and arching away. It's staying exactly where it was when I started. And I'm breathing, letting my shoulder roll in the socket, chin slightly tucked. I breathe in as I come in, I'm breathing out as I extend the arm and leg. I'm not in a hurry. I think I've got 1 more. And number 10. Okay, so just bringing that foot back onto the floor. Okay, so I'm going to bring my heels a little bit closer. I'm going to move into a bridge now. So feet aren't right on top of my bottom, but they're a little bit closer. If you feel just quads when you're going up into your bridge, your feet are too close. If you can feel your hammies or the back of the thigh, then your feet are too far away. So let's tilt the pelvis, squeeze the butt cheeks, push into those heels and lift up. So we want to have knees, hips, shoulders aligned, okay? And then we're going to come back down, and we can come down one vertebrae at a time, or you can come down as a block. So we're going to go up again, tilt the pelvis, so your back flattens, squeeze your butt cheeks, push into those heels, lifting up shoulders, hips, knees aligned. We're not overarching, otherwise we're using our back. We're just going to that alignment and then coming back down one vertebrae at a time. Alright, I'm going to do 3 more. Tilt, squeeze, push into those heels, lift up. And then coming back down. Good, keep your breathing going throughout. Don't hold your breath, but just breathe how it feels natural to breathe. So it depends how long you're going to stay up there, whether you need to. Generally, you're not doing it all in one breath. Alright, I think that's number 5. Alright, coming back down. Let's do a figure 4 stretch. So we're going to put your right ankle on your left knee. I always flex my foot as well, and you can pop your hands around there just to increase that stretch through your upper hammies and glutes. Right. And then we swap it over. So left ankle on right knee, neck and shoulders are relaxed. Not unusual to have one side feeling tighter than the other. Alright, let's grab our roller now. Okay, I'm going to pop the roller in the air over your chest, and we're going to again find our neutral. Make sure your feet and knees are hip width apart, and we're just going to start just by taking that roller behind the head. So keep your chin a little tucked, and you don't want to feel your ribs popping. So ribs popping looks like this, where you've increased the arch in the lumbar, in the lower thoracic spine. And again, I tend to breathe out as I lower and breathe in as I come back. Alright, I'm going to do 5. And then we'll bring the right knee up over the right hip. So lumbar spine hasn't changed, okay? And I'm going to hold that position, breathe out, breathe in. Just for 5. And now we're going to add in some leg extensions. So take the leg towards the floor as the roller goes behind the head. I'm going to do 5 of these. Swap over, so just bring the roller down to the chest. If your back is uncomfortable at all, you could forget about the leg extensions. You might even pop a little pillow in your lower back if you found that you couldn't maintain your neutral. We're going to go to left knee over left hip, okay? Again, just roll behind the head. So you can always come back to this simpler option. We're going to do 5 here. With the leg extension. Alright, when you've done the 5th one, just bring it back. Okay, We might just pop the roller to the side for a minute and just do a little bit of a rock and roll from side to side, okay? And then we're going to go slightly harder with our roller abdominals. So grab your roller once more, pop it in the air. We're going to put one foot up, then the second foot up. Okay, we're going to hold the legs there and do 5 rollers behind the head. So lower back's probably flatter on the floor, but you're not squashing your back into the floor and you're not arching it away. You're just maintaining that neutral. And you're going to feel your tummy working that little bit harder. Ribs shouldn't pop. I'm going to do a 5th one. And then with control, I'm putting 1 foot down, then the 2nd foot down, and then just having a little rest. So we're going to do 3 more lots of 5. Foot down, 2nd foot down, pop the roller down. Now if you were getting back pain at all throughout that, you could just put 1 foot back on the floor. I'm going to do your next one. Foot back, 2nd foot back, and we've just got 1 more to do. Okay, so last set, roller in the air, right foot up, left foot up, keep those knees directly over the hips. The other option is to bring the knees a little bit closer, which will add a little bit more flexion to your spine rather than the knees directly. So either of those options if you're finding a little bit tricky on the last set. Then we've got 1 more. 1 foot down, 2nd foot down. Let's pop that roller underneath your sacrum, so above your coccyx, below your lumbar spine. We're just going to do a hip flexor stretch, so right knee in towards your chest, left leg stretch it out. You're going to hug that knee in, and usually hands around the upper thigh. Try not to push down through the knee. Many people have knee issues, and pushing down through here can exacerbate your knee issue. Alright, slide that outstretched leg back in, lower the other one down. We're going to bring the left knee in, stretch the right one down. And again, not unusual to have a little bit of a difference from one side to the other. And nice to hold this for 20 seconds, even up to 30 seconds. Okay, I'm going to slide this right foot back in. I'm going to hang on to the ends of my roller, and I'm going to bring both knees over my chest, and then I'm just going to straighten them. Now they might go out of view from the camera there, but we're just going to lower gently down towards the floor and then come back up. Alright, so all we're doing is some nice hip opening. Alright. We're not trying to get those knees deadly straight. We're just going in range. We're just going to do 5 each side. It generally feels quite nice. If your lower back doesn't like this, just bend the knees and come back down to the floor. I do quite like this. It's giving you a nice passive stretch. Remember your breathing. Neck and shoulders relaxed. I'm going to do 2 more each side. Last one. Alright, and then to come back down, bring the knees in. One foot's going down, the other foot's going down. And we're just going to bridge to bring that roller out. Now, we're going to go on top. Let's pop bottom on one end. Let's look and check that feet and knees are hip width apart, and we're going to just find our neutral back position. Our palms are on the floor. We're going to relax our neck and shoulders. We're going to go back to those single knee lifts. So we're going to bring our right knee over our right hip and then slowly lower it back down on the floor. Left knee over left hip and lowering it back down to the floor. So we want to minimise the wobbles from side to side. We're keeping the neck and shoulders relaxed. Lumbar spine's not changing its neutral position. And if all of that is working okay and we're breathing normally, then we can take a little bit of the support away. So now we're getting our core to work that little bit harder to maintain our position on the roller, which is an unstable surface. Breathing normally, neck and shoulders are relaxed. Now if I take an elbow off the floor, I'm trying to not turn my neck on, I'm trying to keep breathing, alright, and it's much harder. The roller's rolling around a little bit. I'm just going to show you what happens when I take both elbows off. So I'm a little bit wobblier. I haven't changed my lower back position, but I can feel the roller moving around a little bit. Keeping my neck relaxed. And you can see that I'm a lot more wobbly, but I am feeling that my core is working. And I'm probably going to do one more each side. But I'm going to put my elbows back because I'm after, I could just start to feel that I was starting to use my lower back a little bit and jerky. So that's why I've gone back. So I'm pretty good today with one elbow, but if I took both elbows off, you can see my roller's rolling. Okay, let's just do a big starfish stretch there. So arms out, legs out. Have a breath in and breathe out. So the idea of the exercises on the roll is to get those core muscles working, but not pick up any compensation. So you just find the level where you can work. All right, let's go back to forearms on the floor, feet and knees hip width apart, chin a little tucked. We're going to bring the right knee up. I'm going to straighten the leg, lower it down, just so it's parallel with the floor, and then come back. Gentle feet back on the floor. I'm not changing my lower back position. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And if you're feeling quite stable, again, go to elbow support. And we're going to do 5 of these. So that critical point is as you swap over to the other side. See, my lower back's not changing its position, my neck and shoulders are still relaxed. Right, I'm going to do one more each side. Okay, now we're going to add the arms in. So I'm going to put my forearm back up on the floor, and I'm going to put my left hand over my left shoulder, my right knee over my right hip. So we're going to extend the arm and leg and come back. Now we're going to swap over. So we're going to be careful as we go from one side to the other, so we don't get a wobble through our middle and that we're in control. So I'm going to do 5 each side. Chin staying tucked, neutral back still. I'm using forearm on the floor, which will minimise the roller rolling from side to side. But I might try just elbow support now. And we're not in a rush with this, we're trying to get the foot back in front of the hip. Now I could stay just using the same arm and leg if I found that I was struggling and wobbling all over the place. you can mix it up. Alright, I think I've got one more each side. Good. Okay, now relax. Okay. Let's again just do a couple of pelvic tilts. Okay. I'm going to go to arms now. So we might actually start with arms parallel to the floor, and we're just going to do some shoulder shrugs. So a little tap on the chin, neutral on the spine, and we're going to reach and then draw those shoulders back into their sockets. So we're going to reach for the top of the mat and then squeeze those shoulders back. So let's do 3 more. Alright, 1 more. Alright, bring the arms up. So I've got hands directly over shoulders. And we're just going to do some 3 bilateral reaches. So we want to reach with our shoulder blades. So we're going to reach and then squeeze. And reach again and squeeze. So I'm trying to just do this just with my shoulder blades, which means that I'm not getting a big range. And now we're going to do single ones. So right side reach, right side squeeze, center, left side reach, left side squeeze, center. I'm going to do 3 on each side. One more on the left. Good. Let's do some range of motion now. So we're going to take the right arm behind the head, turn the palm to the ceiling, sweep it around in a semicircle, and then come back up. Alright, same on the left. Behind the head till you're parallel with the floor, sweep it around. Now you're being respectful of any painful points, so don't push into anything that's uncomfortable. This is just range of motion. Should feel nice. Alright, I'm going to do 1 more on the left. Okay, and just going to do 2 with the arms going together. Don't let the ribs pop when you're doing this. Alright, and then we're back. And just do some shoulder range of motion now. So I've got palms facing my feet, elbows directly in line with my shoulders, and I'm just going to rotate into what we call internal rotation, and then we're going to come back and rotate into external rotation. Sometimes you need to look just to check where you are in space, and you're just going to go where you're comfortable. Okay? I'm going to do 1 more. Okay, so we're just doing our ITB now, so pop your roller on your hip, forearm underneath your shoulder, leg you're not massaging in front, it's going to support your body weight, and you're going to massage for between 30 and 60 seconds over the sorest point. So I find just on the outside of my hip, and I tend to angle my body so that I'm getting the area where your ITB meets your glutes. Okay, I'm going to flip over onto our quads. Again, we're finding that spot that is the most uncomfortable. Toes can be on the floor. You don't want to let your body sag, so keep you neutral, and you can keep your toes on the floor to take the weight off your quads. You get a better massage if you can just roll yourself back and forth. Keep your head up in line with your body, your chin tucked, and breathe. And again, 30 to 60 seconds. And then toes on the floor, and flip over and do the other side. So again, elbow underneath your shoulder, shoulder blade switched on, keeping your head in line with your body, and we're just going to massage away. Again, at least 30 seconds, finding those spots. So this side for me is not as uncomfortable as the other side. Alright, then come back and we'll use the roller just to do some extensions here. So we want to be face down on the floor. Now if you didn't like a lumbar extension, you could get rid of the roller and skip this one altogether. But we're going to start with our head in between our arms. Palms are facing forward, and we're going to push down through the roller and lift up. Okay, and again. Alright, I'm going to do 5. Hips are staying on the floor. I'm pushing down into that roller. I'm drawing my shoulder blades down and back. Alright, one more. Okay, and relax. Okay, I'm going to pop my roller off to one side. And I'm going to be face down on the floor, chin tucked. Just going to do shoulder blade retraction first of all. So draw them down and back. Relax. Again, we're going to do 5. Totally relax in between. Now you might have a pillow underneath your forehead. Okay, I'm just lifting my head ever so slightly so you can hear me. So shoulders will lift off, hands will stay on the floor. When you've done 5, we're going to draw the shoulder blades down and back, draw the belly in a little, tuck the chin, lift, pause, relax. Alright, again, shoulder blades down and back, tummy drawn in, chin tucked, lift, relax. I'm going to do 3 more. Should be no back or neck pain. You'll feel like you're actually doing something, but there shouldn't be any pain. And don't untuck the chin. Alright, one more. Okay, so I'm going to bring my arms out. So I've got elbows in line with shoulders, palms facing down. We're going to, again, same thing, draw those shoulder blades down and back. Tighten the tummy, tuck the chin. Lift, lower, relax. Okay, again, little pause here. Head staying in line with the body. Relax. Shoulder blades down and back, chin tucked, lift. Little pause here. Relax. Going to do 2 more. Shoulder blades down and back, chin tucked. Pause. Relax. Alright, one more. Relax. Okay, we're going to go one step harder. Okay, I'm just going to move that roller out of the way. Keeps coming for me. Alright, so this time draw those shoulder blades down and back, tuck the chin, stretch the arms behind you, bend the elbows, back down to the floor, switch off. So you're just spending longer in this position. We're going to do 5, totally relax in between, shoulder blades down and back, chin tucked, stretch the arms, bringing back down to the floor. 2 more. So feet stay on the floor, make sure you're breathing. Last one. Alright, and relax. Okay, so we're just going to bring the arms out in front into a Y position. So I want you to think YMCA. We're going to have the head on the floor. Again, you could be on a pillow. We're going to suck those shoulders into their sockets and lift. Alright, and relax. Alright, I just lifted my head that time so you could hear me. I want you to keep your head on the floor, so suck those shoulders into the sockets and lift and then back down. Alright, so keep the shoulder blades sucked into the sockets as you lift and lower. 2 more. Suck them in. Lift. Relax. Last one. And relax. Good. Let's do 10 passive extensions now. So remember, hips stay glued on the floor. Make sure you're breathing. Now you may not get as high as I do. I've got quite a mobile lumbar spine. I'm going to do 10. We're not letting our chin poke, so don't poke the chin. Don't let the shoulders go up to the ears. And just going in the range that's comfortable for you. Alright, and I think I've got one more. Good. Alright, let's come up onto hands and knees. So we want to have hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. And we're just going to start with a cat-cow first of all. So we're going to tuck the tailbone, arch up through the back, bring the chin to the chest, and then slowly come back down. Now you can turn or tilt the head if that's comfortable, okay? And again, you don't have to come down, you could just come down to a neutral position, okay? And then go back up. Make sure you're breathing. I'm going to do 2 more. It's almost like you're pushing the floor away when you're up in this cat position. Alright, I'm coming back to neutral here. And we're just going to do some protraction, retraction. So I want you to think about gripping that floor, almost screwing your hands into the floor, drawing those shoulder blades down and back. And then we're just going to think of collarbones. So I'm just lowering my collarbones to the floor, pushing back up. And that's retracting or pulling my shoulder blades down and back. I'm going to do 5. 1 more. Good. Okay, we're going to stay here now, and I'm going to slide out my left leg. So my toes staying on the floor. I'm going to bring my right arm out. I'm keeping my shoulder blade on. I'm not dropping my pelvis. Okay, and then I'm going to lift just a little. Knees straight, and then come back. So this time I'm going to do it in one smooth movement. Okay, so again, gripping the floor, shoulder blade on, chin tucked, sliding out, left arm, right leg. And I'm going to stay here, neutral lumbar spine, chin tucked, and breathe, and then I'm coming back. I'm going to do 3 on each side. Now you can hold this for a bit longer or a bit shorter. You could just do the legs, as in sliding out one leg only, and then coming back, and then just doing the other leg, and coming back. You don't have to lift it off the floor. You could just do arms, which is also an easier option. And if you're at beginner level, you could just put a little ball in your lumbar spine to make sure that you weren't losing your alignment. I'm just going to do opposite arm, opposite leg without lifting that toe off the floor this time, and then coming back. So you don't want to lose your head position, and be very careful as you're coming back to swap sides. Alright, we're just going to do a frog stretch now, so knees apart, feet together, bottom back to your heels, stretch those arms out in front, head can be on the floor. Deep breath in here, and relax. Okay, let's now go to some leg stretches. So we are going to find your heavy resistance band, and we're going to pop that band around the ball of your feeling. You're going to slide the left foot on the floor, pulling on the ends of the band until your elbows rest on the floor. Slight bend in the knee, and we're just going to hold it there. Think about your breathing. Make sure you're breathing ideally in and out through your nose and down into your diaphragm. So again, we're going to point the toe back and forth. Okay, let's swap the band into the other hand. Lower the leg down. And bring it across. So we're getting ITB stretch. I like to stretch from the hip here. Keep your neck and shoulders relaxed. Keep breathing. I'm going to bend the knee, turn into a bottom stretch. Taking the knee towards the opposite shoulder. Feeling the stretch through the bottom here. Chin tucked. Okay, then we're going to straighten that leg. I'm going to swap the band into the other hand, swing it out to the side. Now if you find you get lower back pain here, you could bend up that foot on the other side to support your lower back. Okay, let's bring that leg back up. Let's swap onto the other foot. So once again, pulling on the ends of the band until your elbows rest on the floor, neck and shoulders relaxed. Very slight tuck on the chin. Just breathing in and out through the diaphragm. And once again, adding in those foot movements. Alright, we're going to swap the band into the other hand again. So I've got my left foot, my right elbow on the floor, lower down, bring the leg across. Again, you're aiming for that stretch on the outside of the hip. Again, I like to stretch my hip. Just watch what's happening to the wrist that's holding the band as well. You don't want to be straining your wrist in this position. Sometimes holding at a different angle helps. We're going to bend the knee, draw the foot in. So we're after a bottom stretch this time. And you might find that you're different one side to the other, so you might spend a little bit longer on the side that is a little bit tighter. You can use breathing. So on a breath out, you can stretch a little bit further. We're now going to straighten that leg. We're swapping the band over into the other hand, elbow on the floor, leg coming out to the side. Again, bend the knee up if your back is uncomfortable. And you want to keep both your bottom cheeks on the floor. Okay, let's bring that leg back. Take the band off. We're going to roll onto our side into a windmill. So pillow underneath your head if you need it. Knees on top of each other, ankles in line with knees, arms stretched out in front. I'm going to slide that top hand over the bottom one, bring the arm up and over. So don't let those knees slide as you're coming up and over, and then bring the arm back. We're going to do 5 or 6 of these, reaching forward, up and over. So just go where you're comfortable. If you get any shoulder discomfort, you can make it easier. And I'll show you. So instead you could do a bow and arrow. So it just means that you bend the elbow, keep the hand in the armpit, and you're just still trying to get the shoulder blade to the floor, but it's far easier on the shoulder than the outstretched arm. So this is an option if you find that your shoulder gets uncomfortable. We're just going to do one more. With this last one, we're going to hold the outstretched position. We're going to breathe in, breathe out, go a little bit further. Alright, I'm going to bring that arm back and I'm going to roll over onto the other side. Okay, so again, knees in front of hips, stretch that arm out in front, pillow underneath your head ideally, up and over, and shoulder blade here is getting towards the floor. Each time you're trying to get a little bit further into range. Alright, with the next one, once again I'm going to hold that outstretched position. Breathe in, breathe out, just going a little bit further. Alright, from here just bring your arm back. We're going to roll over onto our backs. We're just going to do a spinal stretch. So keep one knee bent up, arms stretching out in line with your shoulders. I'm going to slide my right leg down to the floor. My left big toe just hooks gently underneath that right knee, and then I'm going to let my left knee go towards the floor. Now you can use your right hand, just hold it there. If you're uncomfortable through your pecs, you could lift the arm a little bit. Just going to breathe in here, breathe out, and relax. Alright, slowly roll back, swap the legs over. So now I'm straightening my left leg, my arms are still out in line with my shoulders, my right big toe just hooks gently, and then I take that leg over, and you can see I'm a little bit tighter when I go this way. And again, I can use my left hand to hold my right knee, and if this is uncomfortable at your pecs, you could lift your arm. So breathe in, breathe out, stretch a little bit further. Alright, coming back. Alright, so you might want to bring your knees in towards your chest, a little rock from side to side here. We could actually do some hip rotations. So I'm doing single ones here. I could just do both directions, one at a time. Again, it's hip range of motion. Don't push into any pain, but hips need to be quite mobile. Alright, I'm going to put one foot back on the floor, the other foot back on the floor. Okay, let's roll onto our sides and push up. Okay, in long sitting, we're just going to do just a little bit of inner thigh work. So don't be sagging, try and sit on your sit bones. And we're just going to lean forward from the hips, okay, and just gently push down through those, through your elbows onto your knees to give you just a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. Okay, so let's go from there and have legs stretching out in front. We're going to bring the right foot over at the left knee level. We're going to bring your right knee towards your left shoulder, and then we're going to put the right elbow on the knee and just rotate around. So don't hold your breath here. Try and breathe in and out, and you should be feeling the stretch through here. Couple of breaths there, slowly unwind. Same thing on the other side. So we're going to bring the left foot over at the right knee. We want to be sitting up on our sit bones, pull that left knee towards the right shoulder, then we pop the elbow there. We're not turning on the neck, and we're just rotating around. So breathe, and then relax. Okay, so we're just going to do a hip flexor stretch here. We're going to tighten the tummy, tuck the bottom under. We're going to stretch at the front here. We might cross one elbow on top of the other. Keep your shoulders down, lift your elbows up, tuck your chin. Just breathe here, and then relax. And then we'll swap over to the other side. And tighten the tummy, tuck the bottom, cross the arms over. There's this way. Right. Shoulders stay down, elbows just lift a little bit. Good, and relax. Okay, let's come up into standing. Okay, we're just going to go for a quad stretch. So foot to the bottom. Okay, a little bit of a wobble. Keep your knee quite soft here. Relax your neck and shoulders. Okay, so we're going that same leg, we're going to bring in front. We're going to hug the knee to the chest. Just hip flexion. Then we're going to come back, so knees in line with hips, hands on your hips. You want to keep your lumbar spine position. Rotate out, rotate back. We're going to do 3. Bit of balance involved with this. Good. And then down to the floor. Same on the other side, so quad stretch, so foot to the bottom. Slight bend in the knee. So there's balance practice with this one as well. You might be a little bit wobbly. Alright, and then we're going to bring that hip up. Okay, so hip flexion, and then knee in line with hip, hands on your hip. Let's just do 3. Oh, and if you overbalance like me, just bring your leg back up. So internal, external rotation at the hip, not letting those hip bones move at all. Alright, and relax. My little ball, we're popping it on the wall, we're popping it at shoulder height. Okay, so we're popping the ball on the wall, forehead height. Okay, we're close. Our feet are hip width apart, we're drawing those shoulder blades down the back, slight bend in the knee. I've made a little dent in the ball, okay, and I'm just rolling chin to chest and then back. And we're going to do 5. And 1 more. Okay, then we're going to go side to side. So keeping my chin level, keeping the pressure on the ball, rolling from one side of my forehead through the centre over to the other side. So keep a little bit of activity in those shoulder blade muscles. Keep your chin tucked. This is nice rotation for the neck. I'm going to do 3 each side. So 1 more to the right. Don't let the chin drop, don't lift it up, just keep it level. Alright, when you come back, drop it into your hands. Alright, so feet hip width apart, knees soft, let's do a deep breath in. And breathe out. Good, and again, breathe in. And breathe out. Alright, 1 more, breathing in. And breathe out. Alright, big shoulder rolls. And then back the other way. And we're finished. Thank you.